Please welcome Plogalong.
Hi everybody, my name is Eva Kaniasty, and I have been working with Code for Boston on a mobile app called Plogalong. Before I tell you about Plogalong, I'll just tell you a couple of things about Code for Boston. It's a group of volunteer hackers and designers in Boston who work on projects, usually in some kind of technology and UI design and development for the greater good. So anything that benefits the community or people generally. I'm glad that I came third in this lineup because the case has already been made for why Plogalong is necessary. So I'll jump right into what it's really about. So even though we can have all these great solutions for switching to renewables, not using plastic, recycling plastic, we can only control ourselves. We can't really control other people. And other people will always be littering. Trash will always be flying around, unbeknownst to us. Currently, what usually happens is that cities may have kind of ad hoc events where people get together to clean things up, but they tend to be pretty rare. I live in Boston, and there's an annual spring cleanup, and that simply doesn't cover it. So an alternative to that is something called plogging. How many of you have heard of plogging? Anyone? One person. Oh, no, there's some more. So plogging is, I want to say, I said here a new trend. It's actually a few years old. It's this idea that came out of Sweden of people who were jogging, and they started, as they were jogging, they would see trash and they would pick it up. And it became kind of a big thing. I am not a jogger. I do consider myself a plogger. I really think about plogging as just picking up, seeing a piece of trash wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and just picking it up, taking it to the bin. You may have also heard about the trash tag challenge, which came up a few months ago, where people were making an effort to clean up trash and share it on social media. So ploggers tend to be, and these people do actually exist. I've actually have seen random ploggers in Boston cleaning up. They tend to be just people who either spend a lot of time outside doing things out in nature, or they tend to be outside jogging, walking their dogs, etc. And I won't go through all of these quotes. These are actually quotes from research with people that we've done interviews with, as to why they plog, and it tends to be they simply don't like to see trash, or they want to save the environment. And we've gone through such a number of use cases as to why, especially plastic, is so terrible for the environment. So let me jump to a quick demo of Plogalong. So currently Plogalong is in its development stage, and what you'll be looking at right now is a prototype. So Plogalong is a mobile app, and the intent is for ploggers or people who want to try plogging to track their plogs, first of all. So what you're looking at right now is there's this simple form where somebody can report where they were, what they were doing, and maybe some before and after pictures of an area that they cleaned up. And they can log that plog. So what happens when you log a plog, sometimes you may get an achievement or gain points, but you can also share that plog with other people in your area. So the intent is that as you see other people plogging and engaging in your area, you will be motivated to also do it more frequently. So I mentioned you might get badges. So one of the things that we've designed is a leaderboard and badge functionality. And when we did research, this kind of resonated younger guys especially, they were really into this kind of virtual reward system. And then other people were more interested in things like local offers from businesses. I don't know how many of you have heard of a program called Bicycle Benefits. It's a little sticker people put on their bike helmets, and local businesses will give them discounts. So this is kind of a similar idea where pluggers can plug and then kind of get a couple dollars off their coffee or something like that. So the idea is really to make plugging more appealing, since it's not really a task that people inherently enjoy, and to kind of crowdsource trash cleanup so that it's not something that we leave kind of to other people or to our city, or it's a problem that nobody really takes responsibility for. So I'm out of time for my presentation portion, so I'll open it up to questions.
So I was curious to know how effective is sort of this via social media and gamification, as it seems to be kind of the idea, is to creating, to generating habits. And is there...
Yeah, so I can't answer this question for plugging in particular, since this is just a prototype. But what I can tell you is that when we did the research, as I mentioned, I actually wasn't sure if this would resonate with people, since it really seems kind of like it's really you see it in games, you don't really see it in real world applications. But there was a subgroup of users who were really tended to be into games and into achievement and into competing against other people in games and in the real world, and this seemed to resonate. But there's also research on gamification in general and habits.
So really cool, and valuable and good and all of that. Do you have a way or a plan to monetize this?
So right now, it really is just a side project for me. One idea to monetize it would be to have businesses actually sponsor it. And this could be at a small level, or it could be, I'm just going to throw it out. Let's say Dunkin' Donuts decides that they want to sponsor it, since it gives them positive publicity or something like that. So that's...
Put the pluggers up to themselves to dispose of the trash versus centralize it.
Yeah. The intent is the pluggers are basically cleaning up their own neck of the woods and disposing of it.
I've been blogging for years. I didn't know that it had a name. To this guy's question, I think it could be monetized greatly. I mean, you could have a huge cash reward if you partnered with a municipality. I mean, what is their trash pickup budget? Like, you could incentivize this, it seems. I mean, I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I thought about connecting it to like city 311 services where people could actually report certain things, but I haven't thought about monetizing it directly like that.
Yeah, so in my city, there is an improvement district. It's basically the downtown businesses all get together, and they are involved in trying to maintain a somewhat higher quality of, they put up their Christmas decorations, and they are involved in trash cleanup themselves. And I just to add to these other two people, I think there's a tremendous opportunity to attract them to supporting this kind of activity, and have it kind of clone itself and steamroll.
Yeah, I have actually had a conversation with a group in Boston government, and as well as the Parks Commission, and I've gotten advice. I haven't really gotten more than that.
In the town where I live, the schools actually have days where the kids do cleanup, do clogging for like school projects. Have you thought about that at all? Or?
I have one of the use cases that we've been thinking about it, actually having group accounts where something like let's say a school or a friends group for a park or something like that could have an account that's more of a group account, and they're kind of organizing the plogs and reporting them as a group rather than individually.
The jails do a lot of it too.
That's a good point. Is that a question or out of time?
No.
Out of
It's a question though, because actually, just before coming over here, I walked out of my house, and there was another two bottles on the sidewalk. I picked them up, and I've been doing this a long time, and it's so important. It's a mental thing that once people get in the habit, I think this is really magical. And if we can figure out a way of rewarding people to take people who throw the stuff there and realize, wait a second, I'll just put it in the pocket and throw it out when I get home.
I mean, definitely. I mean, I live at the way that I came to plugging is I live on a dead-end street where people will drive, sit there in their car, eat, and then throw the trash out their window. So it definitely happens. So I think we are out of time. So, so if you have questions, wait until the end and ask me directly. I don't want to keep monopolizing the time.